Welcome to my fantasy review. Hello folks, and welcome to my review of the Hobbit 2 movie. I did wait a few months to let it sink in. Once again, like last time, I didn't review it right off the bat. I didn't want to seem too excited or too down on it. Once again, it's my own opinion about the movie. This review will focus on the good, the bad, and the somewhat so-so. Once again, I'm a fan of science fiction, not of Tolkien. Therefore, I will not be like a fanboy defending any little problem. On the other hand, if something's good, I'll say it. Once again, Peter Jackson is a good director. I love his stuff, but also I'm not a fanboy of his. So, and I'm once again using Minecraft, though this one, as you can see, is Terra Firma Craft. Probably an outdated version by now. But let's get down to the bare tax, as it was. The good part, Smog. This dragon is great. This dragon is wonderful. They pull a lot of lines out of the book. He's very intelligent, very dangerous, and in this movie he actually knows the Hobbit's there. He could sense it, he could see it. The ring doesn't do anything to him. It makes him all the more dangerous, a master of his own domain. Another good part about the movie is that the Elven King came out as a three-dimensional character. In the book, I won't call him a two-dimensional character, but his concerns and self-interest in this movie makes him seem more of a real person and not just a two-dimensional stereotypical elf. He doesn't really care what happens outside his borders. I got an impression he's become bitter. He's learned from experience, or he thinks he's learned from experience, and he wants to be an isolationist. He wants to stick his head into the sand. The bad. I love Legolas. He is technically there at the time of the events, but him and that red-headed elf throughout the whole movie are not needed throughout the whole movie. I also felt, once again, the orcs were overshadowing everything. The escape with the barrels became a water ride. And Gandalf and the other events that happen but are not shown in the book don't need to show up in the movie. It just felt like they're padding again. I did like the lake town. I did not like the fact that the dwarves, they have this movie that I think they could have cut out about 20 or 30 minutes. Yet in the end, I still don't know that much about the dwarves. The romance between the dwarf and the red-headed elf's also a little out of place. The fact they built up this dragon to be this vicious, intelligent being, and then he can't deal with a whole bunch of dwarves. I mean, he wiped out this whole civilization. They make it realistic. You actually think he could have taken over this place. Yet he can't handle a bunch of dwarves. Just a handful of them. It's very... You know, the problem with building up a character like the dragon is that then he can't handle these handful of dwarves. The problem with giving this king of the elves in the woodlands, the forests, awesome three-dimensional character is that at a certain point you realize, well, it's not like the other elves in the movie. He's not following the elves of the book. Not that you should let the book, decide whether you like the movie or not. The end result is that you get a disconnect a little bit. They had to make this dragon powerful. That's the only way to allow him to just take over this civilization, this Dwarf Fortress. And I would be using Dwarf Fortress right now as this review, except it doesn't seem to like FRAPS. Nothing likes FRAPS, actually, when you get down to it. But so once again, this is like a mixed review. I enjoyed the movie. I'll probably get the DVD, though honestly I didn't get the Hobbit DVD for the first movie, so I'm not really as interested in the behind the scenes, the backstories, the featurettes. Um, when a movie's great, you want to see how well they did it. When a movie's not great, wow, that's interesting. Excuse me. Sorry about that. I don't even know where that music came from. It's part of the Terra Firma craft, I think. Anyway, where was I? When a movie's great, you want to know everything about it. When the movie's bad, you don't really need to explain. You be told why the movie's bad. You pretty much figured out the movie is bad. It's just is. You know? You know? You know? You know? Yeah. Looks like I don't need to eat. But I did need to drink. So, it's a mixed, like the first one. It really isn't as interesting as I was hoping. There wasn't the quiet moments that there should have been when they're talking to the guy who's a werebear in the Hobbit book. That's an excellent chapter. There's a couple chapters, I think, but it's an excellent quiet time. You know, there's humor. There's a time to rest. They weren't being chased by orcs the entire time. There's suspense. Oh, and the spiders were excellent. I love the spiders. A little maybe too icky, but I think that's Peter Jackson and his phobias. Well, anyway. The point is... The point is that it was a good movie, but it wasn't great. It wasn't the other trilogy movies, you know, Lord of the Rings. And I might want to get inside. I'm not sure if I set this thing to have creatures trying to kill me or not. So let's go on here. Beep. All right. So I hope that wasn't really too much babbling. It wasn't as organized, I think, as the other review. But the fact is there's a lot of good things in it. There are some bad things in it. I don't think Legolas needed to be in it the entire time. I don't think the Gandalf and the backstory needed to be in it. I don't think the orcs had to be in it. I think there should have been more quiet time. Love Stephen Fry. But I do think there should have been more quiet time. You can't have the mountains without the valleys. You can't have those highs, that the roller coaster going down, you know, heading towards that tunnel without the slow build up to it. And I think that there's just a little too much action, and it was too long. I looked at my watch. I'm sorry, I looked at my watch, and that's always a bad sign. Okay. So thank you for listening to this. Sorry if I haven't been on for a while, but this year's been kind of tough. All right. Bye bye. Have a good day. Hello, folks. So welcome to my review of The Hobbit 2, the desolation. Blah.